No, I'm not mocking you. It's Mocking With You, the podcast that settles the debates once and for all with your host, Lil B, and the hater.
Hello and welcome into the podcast. Thank you for joining us. We are here. It's me and Chris this week. We are bringing you our top 10 cornerbacks for the 2025 NFL Draft. Last week, we brought you our top 10 safeties with Tyler. It says Tyler's on the board. He's not showing up today. He was just a special guest for last week's episode. It is just me and Hater this week. And
we do have a top 10, but we can do that later.
Yeah, we can throw it in there and tell you his when we get through ours really quickly. But next week is linebackers, as we discussed before. So this week, great episode with our top 10 corners. Next week, top 10 linebackers. So, Chris, let's go ahead and get into this.
Do we want to do bottom to top this time?
What's that?
Do we want to go from the bottom to the top this time?
The obvious top 1 and 2. Let's not try to, tease this. Let's just top 1 to 10. Because it tends – the 7, 8, 9, 10 are going to be different.
All right. You know what? Yeah, okay. Go ahead. What's the top 1?
Obviously, I know a lot of people are not going to be shocked by this. It's Travis Hunter. So Travis Hunter is from Colorado, obviously Heisman winner, blah, blah, blah. He's 21 years old. He's 6'1", good size. My concern is that he's Emmanuel Forbes because he's 185. He is very tiny. And then when he played against the wide receiver from Colorado State, who's a big body wide receiver, 6'4", 220. He got pushed around. So I'm saying Travis Hunter is not the perfect prospect everybody is saying he is, but he is the most natural corner you're going to see. He's one of those guys, tackles very weakly, and he doesn't help in the run, but he's going to shut down the side of the field. So if you don't care about your corner not helping you tackle and helping the run, he's your guy. And there's a lot of people who do that. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of corners like that. And that's why he is my number 1. I'm just saying he's not the perfect guy, but he is the most natural corner I have seen in a very long time. And I don't think you really need to say anything else about Travis Hunter. Besides, if he only played wide receiver and he didn't want to play corner, he would go from a top 3 pick to not even a top 10 pick. He's not an otherworldly wide receiver, but he is an otherworldly potential corner.
Yeah. Hold on one second. I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it? I don't have a problem.
I'm going to do it.
I don't have a problem with it. This is a little bit of hatred, though, for you, too.
This is just me hating.
The hater living up.
Everybody's gonna have Travis Hunter number 1, and I don't blame him. But I was watching this guy's tape, and I'm blown away at let me just tell you, you watch the Texas tape of Will. Will Johnson. And man, they didn't even try to throw it over there. They're like, yeah, just don't throw it over there. And the one time that they did, that ball away.
Yeah, 100%.
You talk about a lockdown corner who's not going to have a problem inside.
Yeah. So just to speak about it really quickly, these are career numbers for the 1-2 here. Travis Hunter and Will Johnson both have career interceptions at 9. They both have 9 career interceptions. But Will Johnson has returned 3 of his for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Travis does not have a return touchdown.
Travis
always finds himself to the ground every time he intercepts him.
I don't know why that is.
I don't know why that is.
I don't know if it's balance or what.
But he always is on the ground when he picks it. I don't know, but
so Will Johnson has a more opportunity of a house call.
Yes, yeah, more of a playmaker when it comes to that, which is shocking with Travis Hunter.
And that's not to say that at the next level, Travis Hunter won't make a house call, but
he just didn't do it in college. But Travis Hunter had 24 pass deflections to Will Johnson's 10.
Yeah, and that says something.
Yeah, it does.
I think that pass deflections was better than this.
Yeah, I mean, you're putting the
I
ball
mean,
up
like,
there.
with saying that though, I just think Will Johnson's a better shut down corner.
And I think
I
that
want a shut
potentially
down
means,
corner.
I think, sometimes you look at that. The one other way to look at that is people weren't throwing to Will Johnson. He was locking down the side of the field.
How can back the ball away and they're not throwing it over them?
Exactly. So speaking of all that, Will Johnson, my number 2 corner. But Will Johnson is 6'2", so 1 inch taller than Travis, but he has over 20 pounds more of muscle than Travis Hunter. And it shows because Will doesn't get pushed. Will locks you down. He jams you. He can play man. He can play zone. He has instinctive and quick, smooth hits just as well. He keeps his eye on the quarterback. He doesn't play the wide receiver. Like, he knows where the wide receiver is, but he makes sure he keeps his eye on the quarterback so he's ready to make a play. I love Will Johnson. These two, you don't like. If you have them 1A, it's 1A, 1B, just like the safeties last week. 1A, 1B. If you like Will more than Travis, I understand. If you like Travis more than Will, I understand. Like, it's depending on what you want. Will help you.
These are like the 2 lockdown corners from this. I mean, actually, I want to put that back, but these are the legit elite lockdown
Yes.
with no injuries.
Yes. Well, I mean, Will had the injury this year and sat out, but I don't think it was bad. I think he was just preparing to.
It's not bad enough to make you like.
It was turf toe. I just think he at the end of the. It was.
Yeah, it's turf toe, and that and later, like, so it's such a thing to sat out. But his 2023 tape is awesome. So,
Yeah.
and I'm picking Travis Hunter. No, it's not them.
You're in the Jays, bud.
I'm looking at
the
the last name, not the first name. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think
Travis
we've already,
Hunter. Again, nothing else we couldn't say.
Yeah. So I'm
You
moving
couldn't
on.
said it all.
So I'm risking it, Chris. I'm risking it.
Risk it for the biscuit.
I'm risking it. This gentleman at my number 3 has not declared because he is in the national championship. There's 3 corners that this could be. But there's obvious a number 3.
Is it my guy?
It's Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame.
My guy.
Yeah. Benjamin Morrison is 6 foot, 190. He's 20 years old, so he's young. Gotta love that. 9 career interceptions.
I didn't stop looking at the last name. Sorry.
Yeah. 18 pass deflections and 9 career interceptions. Another guy that is super smooth, keeps his eye on the quarterback. He's actually a very good blitzer. He's quick off the edge to get to the quarterback. He jams Marvin Harrison Jr. He just puts Marvin in his place. And we all know Marvin was one of the great wide receivers last year.
Top five was in the draft last year.
Yeah. I mean, but he jams him. He high points the ball. He's very good at getting interceptions. And he's a very good tackler too, which I love. He's the best tackler between these 3 at this point. Not the best tackler in the draft, but he's better than both Johnson and Hunter.
Oh yeah, he's way better. I mean, I don't know I picked it that way better, but he's better.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what I'm talking about. The injury is the only thing that is concerning.
Yeah. He does. He has missed some time in his career, so it is concerning. That could kick him back, but I don't see why.
It reminds me of like Jason Barrett.
Yeah. See, he's not that injury prone.
Yeah, no. I mean, I hope he's not.
I mean, Jason Verrett was injury prone throughout college. Morrison,
and the NFL.
Morrison, hasn't declared, which is shocking, but I get it. He still has until I think Tuesday or Wednesday after. He has a day or two after the national championship.
I want to say it's Wednesday.
Yeah, I want to say so too.
But most players will probably declare the next day.
I don't see he's not playing either. So that's what's kind of funny that he hasn't declared or made his announcement. So, but he could be the number 1 corner in next year's draft if he decides to return. But he's already a first-round draft pick. I don't think he needs it. So it's up to him. I mean, does he
I had a nickname for him.
One more year and getting hurt again and hurting his stock, or does he just go this year and get picked in the top 20?
Yeah, no. I had to pick against elite receivers. Not only did he shut down Marvin Harrison Jr., he shut down Zay Flowers. He shut down the guy from Stanford that everyone was high on last year.
And still is, because he's one of the top corner receivers in this draft.
Yeah, and
I can't think of his name. It's too complicated for me to say.
Yeah, he shut down everyone. The William guy, that Pez
Johnson.
Pez Johnson, shut him down.
Yeah, he's a shutdown guy. These three are shutdowns. But Morrison's a better tackler.
Yeah, he's like better tackler. All right, who's got for number 4?
This one might come out of not too shocking, but I'm a little higher on him because of Rawl. And I'm going to go with Siobhan Ravel, the corner from ECU, Eastern Carolina. We
really are on the same page.
So he's 6'3", 193, and it shows. He is definitely the most raw corner. I told my brother he's taller than this guy, but he's a lot like Quinton Mitchell from Toledo last year that the Eagles took in the first round. But Ravel here is he's a little injury prone. He's missed a lot of time throughout college. But he's super raw, super athletic. He's a very strong tackler. He's probably the best in the run defense when it comes to a corner. Fast off the edge. And what also I love about him, he's physical, but he's also a good special teamer because he had multiple blocked field goals throughout his time in college. So I love that guy off the edge.
So we love guys that are like multiple. You can put them in.
Definitely a rookie. I mean, you never know how quick a rookie's going to start or play. So if you got a guy like this who can come off the edge at 6'3", and he's probably going to run a solid 4.4, and he's so lanky and tall and get around and block a field goal, I'm all about it to get a.
So I think I really do think that this kid is going to be a nickel corner or a third down specialist where he can blitz and just stop the run or whatever. And this guy, he's a blitz specialist. I think he's going to be able to play outside as he develops and becomes better. He's so raw that right now that I can find him on the field.
Yeah, I don't think you rush him. He's a first round because of his athletic rawness. You get him to play, but I don't think you play him.
He needs to work on his technique. He runs into guys and it never got called in his game, but
he definitely
it's going to get called at the next level.
Yeah, he's physical and he plays physical even 20 yards.
Physical, that's what I have on my notes. Physical.
Yeah, he's physical and he plays physical on coverage, and it will get him in trouble in the NFL for sure. All right, so moving on. I don't know if we're going to keep going here, but mine is Jahadi Barron, the corner from Texas. He's 23 years old, so it's a little bit of a knock. It's also why he's not in my top 4. But he's 5'11".
Wrong one.
He's a strong tackler, another very strong tackler, strong in the run defense. He's instinctive. He's a little stiff in the hips and the footwork. He plays.
I love how that's like at Texas. Didn't you say that? No, that was the Oklahoma guy. Sorry.
Yeah. He plays bigger than 5'11". He definitely plays bigger than 5'11", which I like. I really like him, but he's 8 career interceptions, 23 pass deflections, and 2 sacks in his career. The only thing I don't see the Packers taking a 23-year-old corner. That's not what we normally do. But I wouldn't be mad at a Barron in Green Bay. But I think his age will not have him as high because we don't like the older guys. The only time we ever took a guy who was older was Devontae Wyatt, and that's been 4 years ago now. So usually we have our first round. We like our athletic raw guys, Luka Van Ness, Quay Walker, Rashawn Gary. Like we have a Jair Alexander, and that's why I think Revel really fits that mold. But yeah, I like Barron. I love Barron. Barron's tape is elite, and whoever gets him in the first is going to get a hell of a player.
Man, I call this guy Mr. Everything. He's a plug-and-play guy. No one says that a lot. Oh, he's a plug-and-play guy. But you can put him in at safety, put him in at corner, put him in at nickel corner. He has I don't know if it's like a Texas thing, but he does a lot of bail technique. Like he backs out a lot. Like, and he's not. I saw a couple things where he was like playing press man, but he's not a press man guy. That might be Texas.
I thought he was.
I don't know.
I don't agree with anything you just said. I thought he was a very strong press man.
A lot of I was watching a lot of Texas statements. I didn't see it.
I did. I mean, that's why I said he plays bigger than 5'11", because he has no problem playing that at all. He has no problem, I thought.
I saw him playing all over,
Yeah, I did too, but when he needed to do it, he could do it. I had no problem.
No, I'm saying he did it. When they asked him to do it, he did it. And
I thought he did it really well, though. You said it.
No, he did it really well. I'm not saying, I can say that I don't know if that was the scheme, if that's what they asked him to do, but that's how it was.
I don't think there was an issue with it. I don't.
There's no issue with it.
Why you're thinking it's an issue, like that he can't play it, or you're making.
I'm just saying that's his technique, or that was their technique in college, and something that he didn't that. There's nothing wrong.
I mean, I don't. I saw him play on the line, and I saw the other guy off of line before in the same packages. So I don't know. I don't know if that's where he's comfortable playing, and they let him play that. But I thought he did.
Know.
But for me,
that's whatever they asked him to do.
That's it. This is your first rounds. These guys, I think, all have a very good shot at being your first round corners. Everybody after this is second and third round guys. I don't think anybody. If anybody else goes above these guys, I'll be shocked. It depends on Benjamin or Morrison, obviously. You know how you want to play that, but
yeah. So I think like who I have at number 6 coming up. It's Benjamin Morrison doesn't go out.
Yeah.
But maybe not. I don't know.
So my number 6 is Trey Amos, the cornerback.
Well, what is going on here?
The cornerback out of Ole Miss. He's 22 years old. He's 6'1", 190, 4 career interceptions. Not the greatest hands because he doesn't have the interceptions, but this dude has 31 pass deflections in his career.
That's what I have in my notes.
And
the Batman.
He has 2 forced fumbles, good hips, not great. He tackles, so he's a horrible tackler. Like, God awful. He goes high and misses tackles left and right.
So he doesn't play so high. If you notice how he plays so high that I don't know if it's like because of that, but he needs to work on bending the hips a bit.
But what's shocking is that he's a horrible tackler, but he's pretty solid in the run. He's quick enough and instinctive enough to see the run play happening, and he gets there. He can't make the tackle, but he can hold it and push the wide receiver back out enough.
He'll help somebody else.
Yeah, he can get there, but you can't trust him to make the tackle. You can work on that. He has the size, like I said, 6'1", 190. So it's not like this guy's any slouch, but he definitely they need to teach some tackling technique. He has really good eyes, though. He keeps his eyes on the quarterback. He plays zone. I realize he's not a man. He's a zone for me. I did not ever see him really comfortable enough in the man-to-man every day. He's a very better zone corner.
Yeah, he's one of them zone corners that there's a couple of them in this draft that I'm like, But that's just me personally. I'm not a big zone corner guy, but
yeah, it depends.
But yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there's one guy I really like as a zone corner. I think he's probably the best zone corner in this draft.
Well, I know we're going to be different here. 100%, I know we're different.
Oh, yeah.
Number 7 for me was talked about a little bit last week, and I'm going with Sebastian Castro, the Iowa corner. He's at the bottom. I had to add him at the last second.
Oh,
shit, I didn't do it right.
Oh, God.
I fucked up. It worked on my screen when I did it, so that's weird.
Yeah, we'll have to have what's the name?
Yeah, we'll have. Yeah, I don't know what I did wrong there.
What's her name? Like we haven't had her for a year now.
Yeah, so Jolene.
Come on, Cliff.
I'm trying to see if I can. Yeah, it's not going to do it. All right. Yeah, we'll have to ask her to do it. But so Sebastian Castro, we talked about.
Super high on the list. Wow.
So again, I thought he's a great nickel. He's probably the best nickel in this draft.
Out of all these corners, we got like 30 corners, bro.
Yeah, I think you're sleeping on Castro. You understand Castro is going to be a top, not 190 pick, right? You know that. So
but I'm trying to pick guys from
he's going to be that. That's why I don't understand why you're not like you don't get it.
I don't see it.
So this is a guy I talked about last week a little bit. Castro is hands down the best nickel corner in this draft. He's 5'11", 205. Knock on him. He's from the Iowa guy. He's 24 years old, but strong tackler. Speed is the question for him. That's why I have him at the nickel spot. But he has a great peanut punch, is what I like to call it. Strong, amazing tackler, great in the run. And I like him. And I think at 7 here, puts him in that 2 to 3 range where I think he can go. And it depends how you see
normally we put guys that we want to reach for at 10 and we're like, we want to throw them in.
I like him. You can hate on him all day long.
Over here.
He's not reaching. You're way too low.
Maybe I'm sleeping.
You're sleeping. That's all I can tell you, sir.
I don't know. I don't see it. I watched the tape and I just
You forgot him is what it is. You watched all the guys this week and you forgot about him and you just left him out as a safety.
Yeah. I didn't forget him, but I'm not in him. I'm not in him.
All right, who's your number 7?
What's on Denzel Burke?
Wow. Okay, that's high for me.
So like I think he's a day 2 guy.
Oh, he's 100% a day 2 guy. There's no doubt.
Like, we don't establish that everyone after Phelan is a day 2 guy.
Yeah.
Or day 3. So I think that Burke is physical. He's a little handsy, but not handsy. He's talent Burke. He can play on an island, which I like that. A lot of teams want these guys to play on islands because it's blitz.
So,
my only problem is it's just like Rebel Junior where he kind of gets in the way.
Yeah, I have that.
And doesn't turn his head around. If he doesn't turn his head around, he's fine.
Yeah, I wrote that. So I don't have Denzel Burke in my top 10. He's my number 11.
Wow.
So he's 22 years old. He's 6'1", 193, 4 career interceptions and 27 pass deflections. He's good speed, solid tackler, but he doesn't play the ball. He plays the wide receiver, which leads to a lot more, I think, pass deflections and less interceptions, but also he's going to get in a lot of trouble in the NFL. He doesn't start playing the ball a little bit more because he never turns his head. He never turns his head. I don't know how he got away with a lot of pass interferences because he's Ohio State. I like him. Like I said, he's the number 11 day 2 pick, but he also had a very bad day against Oregon. The first game, they owned him. But yeah, and I think that Oregon game's why I got pushed down when like a little bit faster wide receivers got past him. He has good speed. He doesn't have great speed, and the guys could get just enough by him. And So that's why he didn't make my top 10, but I do like him. But going in,
all right, who's like next?
Maxwell Hairston, corner from Kentucky. So this guy scares me a little because he reminds me of Emmanuel Forbes. He's 6'1", but he's 175. He needs to put some muscle on. But at 175,
Yeah, he scared me too.
at 175, this man is a beast at tackling. Another very strong tackler.
That's tackle. One of that's tackle is that.
Yeah, he has the closing speeds. He has very smooth hips. He plays zone and he plays soft. So, and it's probably because of his weight advantage that he has to play this way and play to his speed. But he's very instinctive, a very good first step. Once he sees what's happening, he takes that step and it's gone. He's like a shot. He's shot out of the cannon.
I'm not going to give it away if I have his notes, so I don't want it.
He plays the wide receiver as well as like these last couple of guys. Another reason why he's a little bit lower, not the ball.
That's not what I have in my notes.
And he's also very good in the run.
He's got that bone corner in his lap.
I agree. I wouldn't argue that.
And I'll tell you who he reminds me of when I pick him. But I'm not picking on him. I want to, but I'm like, I'm going to be like pick my guy. And I'm going to take Quentin Byron.
Oh.
I like this guy.
I do not.
I like him. He's Mr. Batman.
You want to know where I have him ranked?
Like 20?
18.
You really want to go ahead of those, huh?
I watched my head corners, and he's 18.
Been wetting my head again.
Dude, I don't get it. Go ahead and you speak and I'll follow up.
I just thought, I mean, every guy who won it against the best of the best in the ACC. I played it against the ACC.
The ACC have the best of the best.
I know, but it did have great flowers and some good wide receivers. And he shut them down. He did well. That Louisville defense was not putting played with it.
So Quincy Riley is 23 years old.
That's the only negative I have.
6 foot, 195. The man is a ball hawk. He had 15 career interceptions, but he also was in fucking college football for 18 years. He has like 5 starting seasons or 6 starting seasons. And my problem, why he's so low, he does have 34 career pass deflections as well. But again, he played 18 seasons. He's another zone.
A long time.
He at the height. He's another zone corner for me. I don't think he's very tall and lean. He has good hits. Very weak tackler. Very weak tackler. Good hands. Good footwork. Nothing great about him. He did it like it wasn't like he was otherworldly or horrible. It was just okay. Yeah, I see.
But somehow this guy did enough to back the ball 31 times.
I disagree. That's my problem. The dude has like 5 starting seasons in college football, and he's 23 years old, and he still has a lot of work to do. I think this is it. I think what you see is it. I don't think there's much improving. That's why he's so low. For me. So I don't get it. I understand a lot of people like him. I'm not on that board. That's probably my biggest hate besides one other guy for the corners. He's my one.
Oh, you mean the guy that Tyler really liked?
Okay, well, 3 hates. 3 hates. Sorry. I have 3
okay.
But he's my second highest hate. If that makes sense.
Well, the second highest hate.
Yeah. We'll get to it.
I think I might hate a guy, but I have the guy on my list.
I'm not saying I hate them. I just don't like them. If that makes I don't hate any of these guys, but I wouldn't draft them if that makes sense.
So there's I don't think that. You know what? Like for me, there's a lot to look at. But if it isn't translated at the next level, I don't know. And I'm looking at it as the fact of what kind of corner do you want? I want to have a good list of different corners.
Yeah, 100%. You need a corner that does everything. You can't have the same corner at all three, 3 or 4, how many corners you put out there. They can't all be the same because obviously they can't. You need somebody who can do different things. Speaking of being able to do different things, let's talk about my number 9. Jabbar Muhammad, corner from Oregon. He's another older guy. He's 23. He's 5'10", 185. But fuck, does he not play like it? I can tell you, you would not think he's 5'10", 185 when you watch him on the field. He has 4 career interceptions, but this man has 38 pass deflections, and more than half of those, like 26, come in the last 2 seasons. This guy was insane. He plays some tight coverage on if it was in the nickel or if it was outside.
Look at mine.
Great at deflecting passes, not great at catching. Drops a lot of interceptions. Closing speed, he can play both outside.
He's got hands of stone. That's why he plays defense.
I like him as a nickel, but you know who also he reminds me of? Denzel Ward. I feel like he could be Denzel Ward.
He is like Denzel Ward, and that's not a bad thing.
No, Ward's a top 5 corner in the league.
Right, like that's what, like, but the fact that he's 21 years old, it's just like Hunter Riley here that scares me.
See, for me, Muhammad has nothing wrong. It's just age, and he's in my top 10. To me, Jabbar Muhammad is you plug and play right now. I don't think he needs. Of course, he needs some more coaching up once he gets to the NFL level. But I really feel like you
what did I have in my notes for him?
I feel like you could throw him in the nickel and start day 1.
Yeah, I said he will be a starter in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like plug and play again. I overusing the term plug and play, but
yeah, he's a plug and play. I agree. I do not think we are going to agree at number 10, though, sir.
There's no way in Dr. Green Earth that we're going to at number 10. You have too many corners that we're like, yeah, it is.
My number 10 is Azara Thomas, cornerback, Florida State.
Oh, well, that's my dog. Dude, but that's not my 10.
Dude, so this guy is 20 years old.
That's why I like him.
He's 6'2", 198.
That's why I like him.
2 interceptions, 15 pass deflections. He only really started this last year. He played a lot last year, but he cemented himself this season. This guy has great footwork, good hips, strong tackler, very physical, fast, a lockdown man coverage. I believe if he gets taught up well enough, he can be Revis Island type lockdown half side of the field for you. He's very raw. He plays.
How tall is he again?
He's only 20.
I mean, how tall?
6'2". Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be like another guy that was from FSU.
Yeah, and he jammed.
What's his name?
He's so big and he uses his body. He jams a lot of wide receivers at that line, which I like seeing a big body wide receiver use that quick emotion just to or corner to knock that wide receiver. Just
a lot of people on Black Twitter and call him the next day on Mansion.
Yeah, I hope draft Twitter leaves him alone. Let me have him. I don't
like leave him alone. Leave my guy alone.
This is my guy. I love him. I don't need draft Twitter jumping on the bandwagons of one of my guys because it never really works out when draft Twitter falls in love with players.
I just know what a guy that 50 has said is his guy, and I'm the one with my guy, and I'm the one with O'Donnell Woodson.
I like O'Donnell too.
At least sleeper in this draft, and he's big.
100%. I like O'Donnell Fortune. I'm
glad multiple pick fixes in his earlier. I think he had 2 in one day.
I think so too. Yeah. So how I told you Burke was my 11, Fortune's my 12.
Yeah. No, I have to get him in. I know I'm snubbing Houston, and I love Houston, and I'll get in my notes on him, but man, fortunate. Listen to you very fortunate when you draft this guy.
So Fortune is 23 years old, another older corner. He's 6'1", 185. He had a 100-yard interception return. He has great hips. He had an interception against Jalen Milroe that was it was like everything you see from the combine that you're looking for from the corners, like the moving of the hips to gunning off and going for the ball. Like he did that perfectly to Jalen Milroe in the Alabama game. And it was just like that's a drill in the combine. You just saw him do, and he did it flawlessly for a pick. And like he's a very good tackler. He blows up plays left and right. Instinctive. I love O'Donnell Fortune. I love that you got to talk about him. But we got to talk about O'Donnell here.
Yeah, well, I hopped into Richard Sherman.
I don't mind that.
That's what I saw on his page, Richard Sherman. I mean, he has the same body.
Yes, he does. Oh God, there's a lot of guys. Funny enough, these are my top 10, but when I look at it, my guys are like 12, 13, 14, 17. Like I have a lot of guys in this like fit.
So my note from Maxwell Houston was the perfect zone corner, a cluer. You know what a cluer is? Someone who clues in on the route. He's gonna jump the route. He's gonna be a perfect cover 2 corner. He's gonna be in a cover 2 or like a cover 3 defense, and he's gonna be a stud.
So I'm gonna throw in one honorable mention for a corner, and then we could throw in Tyler's because he has a couple guys we don't have that we can talk about since we're running pretty good on time. So I'm gonna talk about this guy, and if you want to throw an honorable mention, you're more than welcome. Bahal Cone, cornerback.
Yeah, I like them.
Western Michigan. So I don't know his age. I couldn't find it, but this guy is 6'2", 190. This guy jumped around. He started his career at like Indiana State, then went somewhere else, and then he played at Western Michigan this last year. He's a transfer stud, but he is physical. Like he's super raw. He's a sleeper, but he's man coverage. Another guy that could be Thomas.
Dog in him.
Great tackler, great run defender, man-on-man coverage.
That's why he's got that dog in him.
Yeah, this guy is just a guy I want to talk about. Really, like I just wanted to mention. So if he does get don't be shocked. Like I don't know if he's day 2. He could be like early day 3, maybe late day 2. But just look out for Bahal Cone. I really like what I saw from him.
I think I'm gonna mention Holton Bryant.
Ooh.
Holton Bryant.
Oh, God.
Like I feel like I don't know what I'm doing with Holton Bryant though, but all I did to do was ask him to go get the ball. Like anything I saw on him was like him just getting the ball.
Yeah.
But you can get this ball in the guy's hands, he knows what to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want, it's easy here. We don't have to talk. We can just run through it really quickly for the top 3. Tyler is just like me. Travis Hunter, Will Johnson, Benjamin Morrison is his top 3. He comes out of left field a little here with his number 4. We have but he comes in with Trey Amos. He's really high on Trey Amos at number 4.
Wow. It's tall.
Has to be. And then his number 5 is our number 4. He has Siobhan Revel.
So
this is Amos.
Number 4 was what?
Trey Amos.
So
T. Go to T's. There you go.
I know.
Then this is Siobhan Revel. A little higher for both of us, but number 6 for him was Maxwell Hairston. This is he's not an Ohio. He's from Ohio, but he's not an Ohio guy. He's a Kentucky guy, and
He's like always like really good in Kentucky. He's staying biased here.
Yeah, he's being. I like we all like Harrison, but I think 6 is.
He was one of the best.
Number 7 is Jihad Barron from Texas. Oh, sorry.
And so he's not too low on him.
No, he's not too low on. All right, this is where he comes.
I like that one. We do.
So this is what comes out of left field. His number 8 is Zy Alexander from LSU. Zy Alexander couldn't find his age. He's 6'2", 194. Big body. He doesn't play the ball.
Why I like him.
He plays the wide receiver. He's physical. He has some fluid movements. Bad tackler for his size, though. That's what was like. For his size, he can't tackle for shit. He's super raw and okay footwork. Like I
like his inside technique. The way that he pushes wide receivers out of bounds is good. But everything else, I did not like.
I don't.
That tackler, like you just said.
Yeah. This was shocking to me when I saw his list. So but that's him. Number 9 is Dorian Porter. So we mentioned Porter before we got on the podcast and before we went live. So Dorian Porter is from Iowa State. He's the oldest corner in this draft. He is 24. But
my Lord, was he in college when the dinosaurs were long or what?
It's funny because the only 2 guys that aren't tall, I mean, besides the top ones in his top 10 are big boys because, I mean, Barron's not huge and Harrison isn't, but these late guys thrown in his top 10, all big body because Zy Alexander big. Dorian Porter is 6'4", 200 pounds.
That's long.
Yeah, he plays tight. He plays stiff.
I watched some of the tape and it was super stiff.
But again, for me, it's like he's super raw, but what scares me, he's 24.
Like, how much more is he going to learn?
Exactly. He has good speed, he has solid hands, and he's physical. Like
might be a better safety.
So Zy Alexander, I watched 21 corners. Zy Alexander was my 21. I wasn't impressed.
I think I have him pretty low. I think I put him probably at 20.
And then, funny enough, Porter, 20.
What's 10?
And then number 10 for is Dorian Strong from Virginia Tech. I like Dorian. This one I do like. I don't like Dorian in the top 10. But Dorian Strong is from Virginia Tech. He's 22 years old, 6'1", 185, another big strong.
Virginia Tech. But
he plays really well in the man, doesn't get beat. He has very good closing speed, plays the ball, which I like, good hands and good eyes. He keeps his eyes on the quarterback and reads the quarterback and makes sure he deflects the ball. I like Strong, but Strong, again, for me, I think I had Strong at where did I have? Strong's 15 for me. So we're 5 off there. So I'm not going to get crazy on Strong. But so I know I know a lot of people are going to holler here. So before we sign off, I know there's one that neither Chris, Tyler, or myself did not rank in the top 10. And a lot of people will say this guy's a top 10. I did review him, and it's the other Ohio State cornerback. He has to declare, unlike Denzel.
Yeah, Davison.
Yeah, so Davison, Ignabasa. I'm going to murder here properly. But Davison from Ohio State, he can still go back. And if I'm Davison, I'm returning. But
he should.
He should. He's not. For me, he's not ready. He's like, I had him as number.
Hold on, my laptop's got to die. Keep going, bro.
Yeah, I had Davison at number 18. I think I have to look, but he's 6'2", 194. He's 20 years old. So even if he goes back, it's not the end. But he struggles with the inside step. He allows every wide receiver to beat him with the inside step move.
Very handsy. Very handsy.
Very handsy. He's a weak tackler. Gets beat off.
I know who my comp to him though was. Clinton Banner.
I'm trying to find something nice to say about this guy I watched.
The tackler.
I thought he was a weak tackler. I thought he was a horrible tackler.
I thought he tackled well. Mitten's not a tackler. I mean more of like, he's a good hitter.
He's raw. He's still raw. But he's
still raw, bro. But
tight
he didn't know that in school.
He's tight-hipped, poor footwork. He's very grabby. Gets beat often. Allows the inside step. I go back. For me, go back. But
go back to school.
But a lot of people have potentially a top 10 pick for him or top 10 cornerback position for him. I don't see it. If you do, more than welcome. Also, he still has to declare. So
we didn't want to put him on the list. I mean,
if he declared. He is literally number 16 for me is where I have him. He would have not. He's not even close. I mean, you take him.
I like him. How play both.
I like Denzel Burke more. But he has all the tools. He just needs to be able to learn how to put them together, and he's young. So he can come out, probably get drafted round 3, round 4, maybe 3 to 5 is his range, I think, right now. But I think he can come back if he gets coached up one more year and get himself into that day 2, maybe day 1. But he would have to make a big jump. But that's it. We talked. We went over. We gave you our top 10s. We gave you Tyler's top 10. Next week will be our linebackers. So, again, tune in at this time next week where we'll be bringing you our top 10 linebackers. And
I'm trying to figure out why we didn't go on Twitter again. For some reason, didn't work.
Yeah, I was going to
talk. And we'll try to figure that out. Sorry.
That shouldn't have been. And it's top inside linebackers and outside, not edge guys, not guys who get to the quarterback. That will be the fall.
Yeah, it's linebackers. Yeah. Not edge guys.
Just want to let the fans know. So thank you for tuning in this week, and we'll see you next week at the same time.
Thank you for listening to the Mocking You podcast. Yours truly, Lil B at Brunelli Sports and the Hater at Supercharged 33.